forests of Pandora hold many dangers, but the most dangerous thing about Pandora is that you may grow to love her too much.
Jake's words describe the entire philosophy of the Na'vi, all the magic of the Avatar films, and his main personal motivation. In the comic Avatar: The High Ground, he said it in more detail. Our love for Pandora is our greatest weakness, but it is also our greatest strength. Neytiri's beautiful song, Song Chord. She composed this lullaby herself. The song truly sounds like a lullaby. It sings about the pregnancy with Neteyam and Kiris joining the family. All of this is a new bead on the song chord.
We sing the song chords to each bead, a story in our life.
Neteyam!
The bead when we adopted our daughter, Kitty.
A beautiful idea. Study cultures. Study our incredible external world. I'm sure Cameron observed this tradition somewhere. Braiding a bracelet from significant life events. It's so simple, yet so authentic and beautiful. I really want my own song chord that will remind me of the most important key events in my life.
Born of Grace's avatar, a daughter whose conception was a total mystery.
Kiri is a special character in the franchise. Look at this shot. It's very important and multi-layered. Firstly, Kiri was born with 5 fingers, which is not always guaranteed from an avatar birth, as Neteyam and Tuk have 4 fingers. This symbolizes her kinship and connection with her mother, Grace. Secondly, in the first film, Grace treated Jake like a son. This was her tragedy, the desire to become a mother. Grace took care of him, and now Jake will return all of that to Kiri and become a father to her. All of this is described in this shot, where Jake and Grace continue their human relationship even after death. They both, so to speak, died. Well, their human forms, it's just a shot with 5 fingers, but you could talk about it for a very long time.
And then there was Spider, stuck here. Too young for a cryo capsule. Orphaned by the war, he was raised by the lab guys.
This isn't a win, I'll just state a fact that interests everyone. Spider's mother was the pilot Paz Socorro. She and Quaritch had a brief relationship. Paz Socorro also died in the battle at the end of the first film.
Took a few years to get the language through my thick skull.
I hate you! Penis face!
In the second film, a large part of the dialogue will be in the Na'vi language. Here, together with Jake, we switched our hearing to Na'vi, accompanied by a special sound.
Might as well be English.
I hate you!
We, the audience, became even closer to the Na'vi, like when viewers started understanding Groot's language because they became part of his family.
I love you guys.
He's a good boy.
What is it, Dad? Why are you crying?
By the rocks, right where you said.
The scene of spending time alone was shown specifically with Neteyam. Not Loak, not Kiri, not Tuk, but with him. It's such a light foreshadowing of his demise.
But the thing about happiness, it can vanish in a heartbeat. A new star in the night, ships, decelerating.
The Return of the Sky People is full of shocking details. Never in history has more than one ship arrived on Pandora. Now there are 10 of them. In the first film, the destruction of Home Tree was a huge tragedy for an entire clan. Now just the arrival destroyed dozens of such trees and countless lives. I'll add from myself. I don't know how Cameron does it, but the film had barely begun, and I was already immersed in Pandora's world and personally felt what a nightmare this is. Although when forests are burned in other films, I don't care at all.
Colonel, stand down! Me! Corporal Winfleet!
Ain't this a bitch?
The awakenings of Quaritch and Jake are completely opposite. Jake experienced euphoria and considered it a gift, while Quaritch considers it a curse. He will even say that Marines are dropping into hell, calling Pandora such. And Jake considers Pandora paradise.
You're Colonel Miles Quaritch. In 2 hours, I fly a mission against the Na'vi stronghold. That I do this backup.
This is all your memories and your personality.
If you're any clone of mine, you'll be looking for some payback. Or you can kill us, or we'll just regroup in hell.
Quaritch's revival is of course pulled out of thin air, but that's not the point now. It's cool that Quaritch was brought back not as the evil dude, but in a completely different role. And it's not even about his blue face. Quaritch is due for development as a father and as an opposite to Sully. It would be strange if he remained just a jarhead, dying the same death as the previous version. Who knows, maybe by the end of the journey he will side with the Na'vi. That would be much more interesting.
You don't even know how to use it.
Dad, tuck me!
A reference to the comics The High Ground. I won't talk much about it, but they are quite important canonical comics about the events between parts 1 and 2. There, the Na'vi even went into space. That's when Jake was training Na'vi warriors to use firearms, although according to Awa's laws, it is strictly forbidden.
Bro, we have got to get down there. That will skin us. Come on, don't be a wuss. Hey, where's your brother?
Netiam suffered because of Loak's stunt. This also foreshadows his future death and the heavy burden on Loak's soul.
We are going to Pandora.
The design of all ships, exoskeletons, and architecture is magnificent. Cameron perfectly maintains the line between science fiction, authenticity, and individuality. In other films, ships look either like toys or like art house, and only a few possess the same realism as in the Avatar films. Jake's clan set up camp in the Hallelujah Mountains. This was also explained in the comics. It's much easier for them to hide from the Sky People's sensors here. Many said they forgot about unobtainium, but no, it still plays a role.
Real hysterical, guys. You're not really.
In the first film, there were very few scenes of interaction between humans and Na'vi because it's difficult. In the second film, they added Spider, a whole character who will constantly interact with CG characters. This is a huge amount of work. Every scene looks realistic. Spider fell in water and directly contacts the Na'vi. Just for demonstration, here are shots from Sonic where the actors constantly looked anywhere but into the eyes of the drawn hedgehog.
We're not here to run a mine, Colonel. Earth is dying. Nothing less than to make Pandora the new home for humanity.
I love this. Everything is simple and based on simple human conflicts. The goal of the Sky People is terraforming Pandora. The kick is that there are no compromises, both sides are aimed at war, and the strongest will survive. But this is only relevant for this part so far because in the third film, Spider's organism will change and he will be able to breathe without a mask. The death of Earth was a matter of time. It was clear from the first shots of the first Avatar.
The hard way.
Outstanding.
Small details. The patches of the RDA military forces have their own meanings. On Francis Ardmore's patch, there is a sword against the background of Pandora with 3 stars of the Alpha Centauri system. The blue side apparently means the Na'vi and the red side humanity, or it's a reference to the US flag. But the Avatar patch is more interesting. The first recombinant squad. The scythe is made in the form of a snake and a skull of a human and a Na'vi. They even left Quaritch's scar on the right temple. I like the wordplay deja blue the most. That is deja vu for the inhabitants of Pandora when the demons return in blue form.
You and I, we got some unfinished business.
I was doing that thing again, wasn't I?
An important moment showing Kiri's amazing connection with Awa. Quaritch's arrival precisely in the Hallelujah Mountains is because Jake's camp is here. This is also where the final battle of the first film took place. Everything fits. Although you don't have to look far, I think they were purposefully looking for the place of human Quaritch's death to gather important data. This sound will be repeated every time Quaritch feels fear from Neytiri.
That's right.
4 fingers. We got a half-breed. Aren't you?
The 5 fingers continue to play a role. It's a specific link, thanks to which the connection with Jake is immediately clear. Quaritch doesn't even need to check it.
What's your name, kid?
Socorro.
Miles? Figured they sent you back to Earth.
The same goes for Spider. He, of course, is easier to identify, but the direct connection with Quaritch is very important for the entire plot.
Socorro.
Miles?
Attention to detail. Spider bears his mother's surname, Socorro. It's clear he would never take his father's surname.
I kinda hoped you'd say that.
Important shots. Spider didn't know who exactly killed human Quaritch.
Neytiri, he would always be alien.
Neytiri, his conditional mother or aunt, killed Spider's biological father. These details will be needed to analyze the film's finale. Quaritch symbolically says goodbye to his human appearance. It wasn't easy for Jake to accept that he was Na'vi either. In the comics, this was given separate attention. In Avatar 2, the basis of the world continues to be a moon of a gas giant, not just a planet. The director will use Polyphemus's eclipses for tense scenes. The battle with hostages is full of cool details. Let's go in order. Neytiri's voice is a signal that only the Na'vi will understand. Such moments level the playing field between the savages and elite trained soldiers. Neytiri's sound again. The director doesn't forget the significance of connections between characters. It was Quaritch who shot Spider with an underbarrel grenade, and it was Neytiri who advised against saving Spider. That is, Quaritch took Spider, and Neytiri didn't want him back.
The Sea Clans are a world unto themselves, thousands of islands.
The beauty of the Sea Clan Na'vi begins, reefs made of unobtainium cutting off ocean waves, and behind them are immediate natural pools formed from geysers. Similar ones exist in Turkey, Pamukkale. They are created due to the calcium content in the geysers, which settles as the water is released. But how these form is interesting to know. Set up for the future. The relationship between Loak and Sireya will play a role in future installments. By the way, there is a deleted scene where they kissed. An interesting detail. When Loak looked at Sireya, not only Netiam noticed, but also Neytiri. She smiled a little when she realized what was going on.
Tonawari was the chief of the Metcaina.
I see you, Tonawari. I see you now. Sahika the Metcaina. Why do you come to us, Sheikh Suri?
It's surprising that such distant and different clans speak the same language. But this, on the contrary, is logical. All of Pandora is connected by Eywa. Even here, Kiri could connect with Grace's memories, although Eywa accepted her far in the forests. Correct me if I'm wrong, but perhaps through Eywa, Jake learned where and to whom to fly for shelter.
The arms are thin.
Your skills will mean nothing here.
You should not be here. You'll be slow in the water.
Ignorant like a child.
So they will be like babies,
You're like a baby.
taking their first breath.
Repetition of Neytiri's words from the first film. Now she is the helpless baby in someone else's home.
The tails are weak.
I will show you our village. This way.
The Reef Tribe Na'vi. Let's quickly run through the list of amazing moments. First, skin color is turquoise. This is due to greater exposure to the light of the local sun and overall adaptation to the local nature. Second, everything you see, literally everything, has meaning and significance. Clothing details are different, their homes, how they are adapted to live among the roots of giant mangrove trees. Such trees can extract moisture even from salt water. Third, filming. The house design was inspired by the Bajo people. Models were created by hand, and later, similar bridges were actually built on set. Fourth, the clan's tattoos are inspired by Polynesian peoples. Let me remind you that the word tatau comes from the Samoan language. It means the sound made while tattooing. Fifth, the bodies of the reef Na'vi are very different. Larger chests due to a strong diaphragm, protrusions on the forearms, large tails for swimming, and the eyes themselves are also slightly larger. Cameron had to create a whole new people from scratch, recreate the Na'vi in a completely different element. And here is the main beauty of the film. James Cameron is in love with nature. He personally descended into the Mariana Trench and studied unseen sea creatures. Of course, he did this for the documentary Deep Sea Challenge, but it directly influenced the Avatar sequel. A whole new sea world was created for years just for these shots. But it's more accurate to say for the magic of the Avatar films. This movie doesn't just immerse you in another world, it pulls you into it, and you are literally there on Pandora. There is a whole reference book with details of all the innovations from the second Avatar. The music by composer Simon Franklin works excellently. Angelic choir, as if you are in paradise somewhere on heavenly islands. Not forgetting that this is Na'vi music, the composer added the cries of natives.
We don't speak this finger talk. We don't know what you're saying.
The Na'vi sign language, of course, differs from human. It was created from scratch by deaf actor C.J. Jones. The task was to create a language for underwater Na'vi communication. Many words can be spoken with one hand, as the other often holds a bow or other tools.
That means we eat Na'vi, we ride Na'vi. I smart guy. Scout official interpreter.
Feel his breath. Feel his strength.
Starts with a Nilu.
Nah, this one.
Let's talk about the filming of Avatar 2. It was the most difficult challenge for the film crew in the history of cinema. Underwater scenes are usually shot in the air, and then water is drawn with special effects. But Cameron decided that's for weaklings, and all underwater scenes were literally shot underwater. He tormented all the actors, everyone underwent training, and the filming process was total hell. Actress Kate Winslet, who played the Tsaik Ronal, broke the record for holding breath during film shoots, 7 minutes and 14 seconds. The previous record belonged to Tom Cruise. For motion capture cameras, infrared sensors are usually used, but they are not suitable underwater, so new ultraviolet sensors had to be created. The pools were filled with balls that eliminated reflections on and under the water that interfered with motion capture cameras. One could talk for a very long time about the murderously difficult filming of Avatar 2. There are a whole series of videos talking about it. Special effects specialists separately discuss each shot. This scene with the belt alone cost 20 minutes of discussion by 3 special effects masters. All these factors gave the film unimaginable realism. Such underwater scenes don't even exist in animation. There's nothing like it anywhere. If in sci-fi films the CG quality periodically jumps, there is a diagram roughly like this. Here are CG heavy battles, and here are just character dialogues. Then the CG quality diagram of Avatar looks roughly like this. At the very beginning, it rises to the peak capabilities of Hollywood and stays at this level until the end of the film. Even scenes with people, this is top tier CG, because as I said earlier, interactions between humans and CG Na'vi are also very hard work. That's all for now.
Flickering a flame. Breathe out slowly.
Attention to detail. In forest scenes, the Na'vi are constantly with a layer of sweat and moisture. Here, due to the sun, moisture constantly evaporates from the skin, and now they don't shine like in the forest.
Jake Sully did it the hard way.
What do you think?
Important events. While Jake goes through the path of water, Quaritch goes through his path from the first film. Learn the Na'vi language, tame an Ikran, and so on. The second important event, Spider rejoices at Quaritch's success, although logically, it should alarm him. I'll explain later what this means.
The sea is around you and in you. The sea is your home. Before your birth and after your death, our hearts beat in the womb of the world. The sea gives and the sea takes.
Cameron had to come up with a whole new philosophy for the reef Na'vi. It has echoes of ocean peoples like the Polynesians, but still, it's a completely different world. The Na'vi think differently. Just these words about the ocean give an understanding of how an entire people thinks.
These children are not even true Na'vi.
These scenes create setups for the final battle. Jellyfish for underwater breathing and Kiri's unusual power.
Bye-bye.
Look, I got this, bro.
Then?
Loak continues to drag Neteyam into trouble. This cycle will repeat until the very end. And also, did you notice that Neteyam won't directly interact with the viewer in the entire film?
My baby bro. The mighty warrior.
What does that mean? We always see Kiri's, Loak's, and even Tuk's reactions. Their thoughts are transmitted directly to us, but Neteyam is always somewhere in the background, off-screen. Not once did he directly express his feelings, like Neytiri with Jake. I don't know exactly why the director did this, but the viewers' hearts were still broken at the end of the film.
I don't think so. You've got to stop taking the heat for this knucklehead.
Hey, that's what the other guys look like.
Worse. That's good. A lot worse.
Get out of here.
A scene with excellent suspense. When watching, you also held your breath. They always do that in underwater scenes. We saw Pandora's ocean from the other side. It is not always beautiful and magical. The sound designer added the sound of a heartbeat in the background so we could feel Loak's state.
You saved my life. Thank you.
Absolute cinema. This is the true beauty of cinematography, no words.
I feel her, Dad.
Feel who?
Awa. I'm a scientist. I don't believe in fairy tales. She's just there.
So what does Awa's heartbeat sound like?
Mighty.
Grace's legacy continues to live. If in the first part she didn't believe in Awa because a scientist is always objective, then in the second part, Kiri, on the contrary, feels Awa so strongly that even other Na'vi don't believe. So there is a gradation. Grace and Kiri jumped from this point to this one.
Why are you outcast? I trust you.
Tulkuns see predominantly in yellow shades, meaning they lack the S-cone or it is weaker than M and L. S is responsible for blue tones, M for green, and L for yellow-red colors. This is often found in underwater creatures. It's due to how light passes through water. Often, fish eyes see in black and white or without some cones, most often without the S-cone.
This is the cove of the ancestors.
Hi, Ma. Who was my father? What does the Great Mother want from me? Why am I different?
The scene with Kiri's vision is very important. Firstly, this hasn't happened before. This Tree of Souls is apparently more strongly connected to Awa than the one with the Omaticaya. Secondly, Kiri asked three main questions. Why does she have this power? Why did Awa gift her with this ability? And who was her father? An intrigue that will hold us in future films as well. Thirdly, despite Kiri's height being 7 feet 7 inches, she is shorter than Grace. For Kiri, her mother will always be taller. Fourthly, the background is clearly some kind of foreshadowing for the future. We haven't seen such places before. Fifthly, this event became the specific reason why Quaritch discovered Jake's location. They had to send a signal for Norm and other doctors to fly to them, and Quaritch wouldn't miss the signal.
Long-range patrol picked up a radar hit, a rogue gunship.
Interesting fact, Kiri wears the necklace that Grace had in the first film.
Nazi.
Alright, like coming at you.
Now it's time to talk about Quaritch and Spider. The guy communicates with the enemy of all Pandora as with his father. Jokes, laughs, sits with him at the wheel. He lacked this recognition. He was an outsider everywhere. Understand, Spider is a human dreaming of becoming Na'vi, and Quaritch is a Na'vi wanting to be human. Spider is on the side of the Na'vi, and Quaritch is on the side of humans. He continues to walk Jake's path and reluctantly studies Pandora, the Na'vi language, and so on. It's very interesting where this will lead him. I bet that in future installments he will give his life for Pandora, realizing that humanity has no future. Spider will help him with this.
The Tulkun had come home. It was a time for stories of their season apart, of old friends and new loves.
Even between tense scenes, Jake's voiceover still only talks about the beauties of Pandora. I still hold the opinion that Avatar is a documentary format film. Tolkien was a linguist, invented languages, their development, and only then invented the story of Middle-earth for his languages. It's roughly the same story here. James Cameron invented a special world, and this world is beautiful. And the plot came second.
Sit. Sit down! In the days of the first songs, for territory and for revenge, the killing, no matter how justified,
What is this? Tonowari?
only brings more killing.
When Tonowari said the word revenge, the cameraman immediately showed a worried Ronal. The history of the Tulkuns is educational. We have something to learn from them. But unfortunately, this foreshadows the impending fate of the Metkayina clan. Ronal will take revenge for her spirit sister.
We're gonna cut the cow from the rest of the pod using this sound cannon.
Yeah, target the mother because the calf swims slowly and
The demon ship killed his mother right in front of him.
she won't leave the calf.
The nature of Tulkuns is such that poachers primarily kill mothers, leaving the calves orphans. This is what happened to Payakan. Cameron deliberately showed human cruelty in all its glory.
Not only are they smarter, they're deeply emotional. They have music,
philosophy, complex language.
This stuff just happens to stop human aging, like, stops it. Amrita is what's paying for everything here on Pandora now.
Amrita, the new gold of Pandora. Cameron could have invented anything, but he chose exactly eternal life for the rich and powerful. This is another moment when humanity goes against nature and against spiritual wealth. Death is an important link in the cycle of nature and life. On Pandora, death exists, but Awa defeated it by creating a connection with the souls of deceased loved ones. This is a more perfect option for everyone. Your relatives are mortal, you value them and your own life. Live here and now. And if relatives die, you can visit them in the afterlife with Awa.
She's happy to see you.
But humans chase money, fleeting pleasure, and succumb to the fear of death, unwilling to value what is truly important. Amrita is a Sanskrit word meaning immortality. The Na'vi entered the mouth of the Tulkun to understand closeness and spirituality. Humans entered the mouth of the Tulkun to make money.
I want him to know it was us.
It was my spirit sister. She waited many breeding cycles to have this calf.
The humans killed precisely Ronald's spirit sister. It turns out she had a very hard time having a child. That's one facet. On the other facet, having a child equals death from poachers. The Sky People interrupted this Tulkun's happiness at the most inopportune moment.
Dive! No! Dive!
Grab on!
They even imitate droplets on the camera lens. Look, there are highlights here, supposedly from splashes, although it's all computer graphics.
The kids are under attack. They're defending a Tulkun. It's your kids too.
You want your kids back? You come out alone.
Look, no!
Loak again brought trouble upon everyone and put everyone at risk. His methods of doing things differently led to nothing. Jake fell into Quaritch's trap. There are simply no other ways to save him.
We go in from below, where there's gaps in the armor.
Payakan became the specific reason for saving Loak, Jake, and all the others. Loak believed in Payakan, an outcast just like himself. Payakan managed to regain trust by showing that he is not a killer, but, on the contrary, saves his own. He's also a genius, he lay on his stomach, and the shell on his back is impenetrable. Payakan managed, albeit belatedly, to take revenge on the Sky People. The same thing that the Reef Na'vi themselves, their Olo Ektan and Sahik, who scolded Loak for his connection with this Payakan, decided to do. Still, they are no better than him.
Some kind of freak.
Aonung and Rocho laughed at Kiri's peculiarity, and now she saves them with this power. They now not only respect her, but also fear her.
These are highly intelligent beings.
Think you're pretty clever, don't you?
Scoresby once deprived Payakan of his left fin, and now he symbolically paid him back in kind.
Look, gotta get him. Come on. Come on.
Once again, Loak decides in his own way, leading his brother into a dangerous situation. A small detail. It was in these seconds that Neteyam was shot. When he dove, he grabbed his chest.
We got you. Oh no. Pressure on it. I want to go home. I know.
No. Neteyam! No!
Neteyam died, as foreshadowed at the very beginning of the film, due to Loak's fault. His brother's blood is literally and symbolically on his hands. If you think about it, Loak completely takes after his father, both in character and even appearance. Loak also lost a brother, like Jake. He fell in love with a woman from another tribe, like his father. Both failed the first Sahelu with the local transport, and both have 5 fingers. It remains to guess what other events of the father Loak will repeat. The final battle scene has been going on for half an hour already. We saw sea battles, a battle of a Tulkun and the Reef tribe, aerial combat, automatic gunfire, and hand-to-hand fights between Na'vi and humans. You've probably already forgotten, but interactions of live action with CGI Na'vi is a titanic effort. Matching these shots with each other is impossibly difficult, especially considering that the Na'vi actors weren't animated manually, but were shot with motion capture. I think more time and resources went into this half hour than into an average separate film. The moment when Neytiri realized where her hatred had led her, she tarnished her father's legacy by breaking the bow made from home tree wood. All this will result in the decision to take Spider hostage. If you think it's strange that Neytiri treats Spider this way, let me remind you what the Sky People took from her. Father, his bow, sister, Tsute, her own Akron, people who died in home tree. The home itself, the Tree of Souls, teacher Grace from the school, and finally, her son. You should thank her that she didn't kick Spider while he slept.
He's not mine.
No!
And from a completely different side, Quaritch, who showed at least some humanity. After all, he acknowledges Spider as his son, and I like this development of the Colonel. Why do you need a faceless evil dude for the next several installments? Pandora managed to bring even a jarhead like Jake to life. Couldn't it open Quaritch's eyes? I think it can. Oh, go to hell, Cameron. You could have just filmed them swimming down the corridor and screaming. But no, you had to make the scene more complicated on principle. Build sets, then flip them over, force poor actors to film in this. Horrible, man, you're insane.
Oh, Great Mother! Oh, Great Mother, help us!
Each time Neytiri calls upon the Great Mother, and each time she answers, because Kiri will save them with the help of Awa's power.
Dad, just breathe.
Damn!
Oh, that is slow. Bruh.
Come on, you son of a bitch!
Son, come with me. Spider!
Spider's decision outraged all viewers, but it can be understood. Quaritch managed to give him everything that Neytiri and Jake and the science team couldn't. He spent time with him, listened to his words, showed sympathy, even learned from him. And the main turning point was the rescue from Neytiri's clutches. Throughout the entire film, the only ones who threatened Spider's life were the Na'vi, not the humans. In the end, Quaritch finally acknowledges Spider, calling him his son. Plus, this decision of Spider's is an important setup for the future. Sooner or later, the Sulis will learn that Spider literally betrayed them. The film began with Neytiri's song and ends the same way.
Every song chord must have a last beat. The people say that all energy is only borrowed. Awa holds all her children in her heart.
Look what I caught! Right where he said.
What is it, Dad? Why are you crying?
I'm just happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too.
You leave any for me?
The finale of Avatar 2 broke the hearts of all viewers. Although, in fact, this film is not an empty fiction. Everything shown exists in our world as well. Beautiful nature, kind people, unkind people. All conflicts, all events have exactly the same basis as the events in our lives. Love, family, war, hatred, death. Pandora is merely a beautiful shell of what exists in our real world. Except for the finale.
What is it, Dad? Why are you crying?
I want to go home. I'm just happy to see you. I know. Okay, which one?
I'm happy to see you too.
The scene with Netayam is an experience that, unfortunately, we are not given to experience. We cannot see and hug those we have lost. We don't have a real goddess Awa. We only console ourselves with the empty belief that somewhere in heaven our loved ones live after death. But the Na'vi have it. James Cameron added this detail because viewers want it. We just want to see those we lost, hug them, hear their voice.
I want to go.
Cameron gave us that, at least on screen. A blissful dream in which Jake remained, in which we also want to remain.